Hey, what's going on? Welcome to Built for the Stage podcast. This is Joe Roscoe, founder and host of Built for the Stage, Broadway's #1 fitness platform with performers, actors, clients, and over 20 Broadway shows and other stages across the globe on the West End in London, Australia, collegiate theaters across the country. We are your one-stop shop for all things theater and fitness. Check us out at builtforthestage.com. We'd love to get the chance to chat with you. All right. Let's move on to our special guest. Looking forward to chatting today with one of the cast members of Six. They're currently an alternate in the show, and they made their Broadway debut in Tina. They are from Niagara Falls, not Canada, but New York. Just learned that fun little piece about them. Their family is split, I heard, down the middle. So maybe depending on where the holiday's at, you're either having maybe pancakes and syrup, or maybe you're having I don't know, a Long Island, some type of New Yorker hot dog or something. Who knows? We'll see what the family vibe is like with our guests. Please welcome Ayla Ciccone Burton. Yay! What's going on? Thanks for being on the show. Hi, Ayla.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure. So it's been a busy day for you. You just came from teaching a workshop.
Yeah, I went up to what is it? Norwalk in Connecticut. Norwalk. My friend runs a conservatory up there, so I taught some high schoolers this morning some Six choreography.
All right. Okay, so tell me about what it was like to try to corral, what was it, 14 to 18-year-olds?
One pretended to faint multiple times.
Amazing.
Yes, they were. I was told after I left that they were not that enthusiastic for many people this week, so they definitely had a good time.
Okay, amazing. Was the fainting act for comedic purposes, or were they being dramatic? Drama or comedy?
You know, it could definitely be bits of both. For sure. She was definitely giving drama though, which I appreciate.
Okay, so drama from her and maybe comedy for you as the spectator.
Absolutely.
Okay, fair enough. All right, let's jump into our BFTS hot seat to just kind of shake it loose for a sec.
All right.
I'm gonna play some very amazing music here to get us in the mood. So, first question: you are gonna go out to dinner. You have a reservation for 2, you and your guest, but your guest cancels on you. And they feel so badly that they give you this magic ticket to be able to invite any person to replace that canceled guest. Mm-hmm. And it could be living, passed away, celebrity, normal person. Who are you going to invite to dinner?
Bernadette Peters.
Boom.
It's already there.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm going to remember this. I got to jump back. I got to jump back into why Bernadette was just like a boom. All right. So because it's Bernadette, I'm going to ask you, dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Okay.
He's just not in the room.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you have a dog. Nice. All right. So we got to talk about your dog as well. All right. So you are waking up and you just got to feel the vibe. You need to have a little pep in your step. What's a go-to song of yours that's going to like just give you all the feels, make you feel good, energetic, ready to go?
The first thing that came to mind was More by Lawrence.
Okay.
It was a song when I was in Book of Mormon. I remember the girls was like, they would be in the dressing room like, all right, enough, like turn it off. Like it's a repeat song.
Okay. All right. You're in a time machine. You can pick any decade and any place. Where and when are you going to go?
Place is so interesting. Oh, this is such a hard question. Probably like the 70s. I'm thinking like somewhere hippy dippy. Like I want to be like hairified somewhere.
Okay.
Maybe like somewhere mystical in the 70s. Like I don't know. Somewhere like England.
Okay. All right, cool. Anyone else that's listening right now and you were like, oh, this is where Ayla should go ahead and drop that in the comment right now.
Yeah, let me know.
Okay. 2 more. You're flipping through the TV and some type of rerun movie comes on that always stops you in your tracks where you're like, oh, I love this movie. I'm going to watch it for the 500th time. What's that movie?
I like Harry Potter or like High School Musical.
Amazing. Okay. Last question.
Harry Potter 4. Sorry, it has to be Harry Potter.
Oh, it's got to be Harry Potter 4. All right. Got it. All right. Lock that in. Okay. So you're not a performer. What are you doing if you're not a performer?
I think I'm a therapist.
By choice or because your friends inevitably are always coming to you for advice and help?
I think by choice. If you know me, if you ask my friends, I love to talk about my feelings and hear about others. So,
all right, amazing. Okay, you're off the hot seat. Okay, let's rewind to Bernadette Peters. What was that all about?
Okay, you'll have to. There is actual proof of this. So I saw Bernadette Peters at what was it? Via Carota during the shutdown.
Okay.
I was sitting at Via Carota in the West Village, like outside because there's still like no indoor seating, and I saw like red curls from like 2 tables away, and there is pictures on my Instagram of me sobbing. Like I actually sobbed, and I went up to the table and I was like, I'm in musical theater. Like this was before my debut. And I was like, I just wanted to say I love you. And I have like Give Us More to See tattooed on my back from Sunday in the Park with George as well. And I was like, I have your lyrics tattooed on me. And I was like, I love theater. And she was like, it will come back. And I was like, it felt as if God had come down, like given me hope. But why Bernadette? Because she's like who I strive to be. And I have so many questions about like how she performs the way she does, how she can just stand so planted and full and give you so much. And she's like, me and my friend were just talking about like the comedic ingenues, you know, like her, like the Kristen Chenoweth, like those are the people I look up to so much, but she is just that bitch. Like, come on, falling in love with love and Cinderella.
Yeah.
I fell in love with her.
For me, it's Into the Woods because as a kid in school, I had drama appreciation class, and one of the first musicals I ever saw was on VHS with Bernadette in Into the Woods.
Yeah,
so
she's unreal.
Okay, so you have a dog. What kind of dog do you have?
Alfie. He's a Morkie.
A Morkie. So it's a Yorkie what?
Maltese.
Got it. Maltese Yorkie. All right.
Should I bring him in?
I mean, absolutely.
Oh, I'll grab him. Alfie.
Yeah. I love this.
Come on, baby. He's right outside the door waiting.
Come on in, guest star.
Here we go.
Yeah. Oh, little cutie.
Isn't he? Alfie is turning 3 in the fall, and he's a Scorpio.
Oh, happy early birthday, Alfio the Scorpio.
Oh my goodness.
Amazing. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So what's that? Okay. I have 2 dogs as well. What's that like having a dog in the city for you? Tough?
It's tough with the shows.
Yeah.
That's what's more tough. Like he's such a city dog.
That
he's fine. I live actually across the street from a graveyard.
Okay.
And this is a little weird.
Maybe the ghosts come and like walk Alfie for you when you're away too long, or what happens?
Maybe, but I was gonna say we get most of our energy out at the graveyard. So he runs around the graveyard a lot. And I know it's if people were to just look out their windows and see it, they're probably like, what is going on? In my eyes, I think he's like he has friends.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Has he ever though been perhaps disrespectful to like someone's gravestone before?
Yes. But it's only happened like twice.
All right, good for Alfie, and hopefully, no one's listening that has a loved one across the street from you.
It's old. It's an old graveyard. Old.
God. Everyone has since gone on. I got you. All right, amazing. Okay, so growing up in Niagara Falls were the arts always a part of your upbringing, or when did your love for the arts come about?
Yeah, it always was. My dad sang or like wanted to be a singer at one point, and so he would always be singing around the house. So I feel like that was my first introduction. But my mom like put me in voice lessons and piano lessons and dance classes like when I was 4. Like everything kind of just I was put into it all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an only child, so I had a lot of activities to do.
Yeah, yeah.
I think growing up though, I thought I would be like a dancer. More so, I did like a lot of competition dance. I did like a little bit of theater here and there. But then there was a moment throughout high school where you were like, oh, this isn't realistic. So then it kind of, the dream died for a moment before it came back.
Okay, so how did it revive itself? When did it come back?
Well, I went to a few different schools and I never graduated. But when I was abroad, I was going to school in London.
Oh, amazing.
For music, just like singing, songwriting.
Mm-hmm.
And I met actually the person who I did classes for this morning. I met him there and he was like teaching some classes and got me in connection with some people. And he actually was like, Ayla, you don't know what the fuck you are. Ooh, am I allowed to say that? Okay, good. Ayla, you don't know what the fuck you're doing, but you got a lot of potential. And to have like one person who I was at like I met him at like a Shoshana Bean like master class or something.
All right.
And to have someone who was in association with Shoshana Bean who's also like I'm obsessed with. It was kind of like the kick in the butt I needed to be like, oh wait, maybe you can do this. And I like booked my first non-union tour like 6 months later.
Okay. And then you're off to the races from there, just running that
Yeah.
race. Okay, so once you book that tour, is everything butterflies and rainbows, or did you have some ups and downs? Did you have some questioning as if you were going to stick to this? What was your journey like?
I always knew I was going to stick to it.
Okay.
That has, as soon as I like made the choice and I like moved to New York, I was like, oh, I'm going to do this.
Okay. Let's pause there. So because I think this is very informative for others or insightful. What is it about you, as far as like your chemical makeup or your inside mentality of you just, I'm not quitting.
That, I know, as for astrology lovers out there, I feel like it's my Sagittarius moon, but I have a fire in me. Like once I believe something, it's very much unable to kind of be flipped and turned. And I think in this business, you have to have such extreme confidence in yourself, and I do have a lot of confidence to a point. Like sometimes I'm like, I walk in a room and I like will say exactly what I mean and feel exactly what I mean. And then like 5 minutes later, I'm like, uh-oh, should I have done that? But I think that is what gets me to where I need to be, is that innate belief. Like that's my kind of default mode. Like even with Broadway, I was like, I will be on Broadway by 2020. Well, that didn't work, but I was on Broadway by 2021.
Well, I mean, people like high performers always say this about give yourself sometimes an unrealistic goal. Others might combat this strategy, but give yourself an unrealistic goal as far as timeline goes, and you might not hit it, but it lights such a fire in you that you hit it in a time frame that's still exceedingly and abundantly quicker than you would have if you were just kind of, we'll be more conservative about this.
Yeah, and I'm not very conservative.
Like, let it rip, right? Let it rip.
Absolutely. And I'm a very like firm believer in like your words matter and just like saying things out loud. So even like after Tina, I was like, my next contract, I want it to either be, I want to originate something, I want to like be part of something new, or I want like a principal contract. Like that's what I want to be doing. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
And then like I did my first workshop of like a brand new musical, and then I booked 6 and I was like, all right. So like you just got to keep like being sure of yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you're not sure of yourself, why should anyone else be? Yeah. Okay, amazing. All right, so in the midst of all of the like staying true to your confidence and your affirmations to yourself, when are you a human though? Like that's that time you said I walk into the room and I say something, and then 5 minutes later I'm like, oh, should I have said that? Like, how do you when we're feeling vulnerable or maybe not our strongest, what brings you out of it? Or do you just allow yourself to sit in that and the experience of knowing that, like, I'll come out of it? Like, what is it for you that
I
always keeps you coming back?
Yeah. I feel very deeply. I have once again, if you would ask my friends, you'd be like, my friend Gerald is always like, I'm so jealous that you can just cry so much. Like, he's like, the fact that you can feel so much, I am jealous, honestly. It's great for work. I'm like, it is, but in those moments, I have to feel it. Like,
Mm.
I have to let myself feel like that and go through the emotion,
Mm.
or I will go crazy. Like, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, as well as I think most performers are, in a sense. And the other day, I actually had a day on stage where, for the first time, like, I didn't know, like, where I was, like, on in space, like which character I was, which track I was that day. Like, it was
Mm.
in the middle of and like kind of the whole show, I was like out of body. And so during one of the numbers, I was just like, I took 3 seconds and I stopped, and then I just walked off for a second because I was like, okay, okay, it's okay. And like I just like let it go through me, and then I walked back on and finished the show. I can't even, I was just nervous. See, this is right now. I'm like, should I have said that? That's what I was just saying as I was saying this. But I think there's just so much power in your vulnerability that I'm trying to recognize that more and more.
Yeah.
Um, so the more you live in it, the easier it is to get through it the next time.
Yeah, I feel like well, one, I'm no one to say what you should have said or not, but I'm glad you said it.
Yeah.
Because I think it's freeing for all of us, in the sense of we all are prone to not want to sit in that vulnerability or to show that. And because of that tight fistedness, if
Mm.
I can make that word up, it kind of hinders us all the more. Where if we just kind of let it go, like you've been saying, then truly we can just let go and move on to what's ahead for us. So I love
I
you
think
saying
it's helpful. Thanks. I think it's also when I do, even though it's scary to like admit and say, it's like you would also want to hear others say it. So
that. Yeah.
it's like, and those are the connections I want in my life, are people who are also vulnerable. So
Yeah.
that's why I try to let that happen.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. So speaking of that experience you were talking about,
Mhm.
Six has to be one of the tougher shows to be an alternate or understudy cover, what have you, because you're like playing six leads pretty much,
Right.
it's not like you're just like, oh, if I'm in this understudy track, it's kind of still similar to that one. I just have to hit different marks or whatever. No, it's
Yeah.
like my harmonies are different.
Right.
Uh, yeah. So tell us just a little bit about that experience and if you've ever tackled something this challenging before.
So I was a swing in Book of Mormon in Australia for 2 years. So that was kind of my first introduction to it. Um, so I feel like that was much scarier, to be honest, than this.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is I do 3 tracks, but as the dance captain, I have to know all six.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned, for me, it wasn't hard to learn, to be honest, because they're always on stage together, at least.
Yeah.
Um, what is more difficult is definitely the harmonies for
Right.
me. Like,
Right.
there's sometimes I'm like, I'm in the chord. I am in the chord. So you know what I mean?
Yeah. I might be matching someone else in the chord, but I'm at least in there. Like,
There's a part like at the end where it's like called sad six, and we're like six, and we like come back all together out of nowhere. And there was one day where like 2 alternates were on, and it was not a 3-part harmony that day. We were just like, ooh, sorry. um so I think what has helped me in this contract, in comparison to like swinging the first time, was, once again, letting it go.
Mhm.
Like, you will make mistakes. You will. And and like some days it really is just about like, wait, okay, divorce died. Okay, so I'm divorced today. I'm wearing red. that's where I'm at. Like you have to like just look down in space sometimes and just be like, that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Like shove with love, give
Mm.
grace. Like I think that is how I manage it.
Yeah. The goal is to succeed, and inevitably along the way of succeeding, you will fail, and just knowing that will allow you to succeed. Yeah, I love that.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Do you have a favorite track out of the three?
Yeah, Bolin. She's my girl.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I
And
feel like
you like the song she sing? Like, what is it about?
it's just her one-liners. I feel like I am a Bolin. Like
Mm,
if I had to pick one of the girls, like I live in a Bolin world a little bit more. Where
mm.
she's just kind of like, I said what I said, like it's like, there's that. Ooh, ooh.
Yeah.
Like her literally like, oh, what was I supposed to do? I don't know. Like, and all of her funny one-liners, they're just like, I just have a good time with them every time. Like I can kind of, I know there's a certain like way. It's all directed, of course, but I can have a lot of fun and make a lot of choices every time I'm on.
Yeah. Um, is the show still new to you, even though you're not going on frequently, or maybe you are? I'm not sure what the coverage has been like as of late, but like, does the show you something new each time that kind of touches you in a different way?
Yeah, I think yeah, it depends like who you're on for sure, like what's happening in your life. Um, because there's some days like, yeah, it's just by the end when you're like, Henry, yeah, I'm through to meditate, like when we're like screaming, you don't need someone's love. I don't know. There's like an empowering moment almost every single time by the end.
Yeah.
And so I was on for Cleves this whole past weekend, and there's just like with her, she wins no matter what because Cleves is the divorced one who she outlived all of them. She like has a palace away. She was only married to him for like 10 days. She kind of like really got off scot-free.
Yeah.
So I kind of had this energy with me like that this weekend where it was just like, woo, I'm the best. So you know what I mean? So that it's more that like I would say less about the show feeling as new and more about like the fact it's great that I do get to jump into different people
Nice.
when I haven't been in Bolin's shoes since May. I
Hmm.
think I will like go on in a few weeks for a vacation and I like can't wait.
Nice. Uh, Jumping off of six for a second, you mentioned you studied in London. You mentioned you were in Australia doing a show. What were those like abroad experiences for you? And did any part of you get kind of like shaped or grown during those times?
Absolutely. Yeah, I lived in Australia for 20 months touring. I lived in London for 1 year. I've lived in Cork, Ireland for 6 months. Um,
I've been to Cork.
it's the best, huh?
Yeah, yeah,
The nicest people.
yeah, for sure.
And it definitely, I always wanted to, like, Niagara Falls is so small. I always wanted to like go and travel, and it was the best way for me to do it so and just like be on my own. Um, I think it got me way out of like small town mindset, small minded mindset. Like you just see so many people, and especially, so I am mixed race, and my mom is white and my dad's black. But I was raised with mostly my white side of my family. So really raised around a lot of whiteness. So just being a mixed girl, like going to different places as well and just seeing different people.
Mm.
It was the best thing I could have done. It was like that felt like more school to me than any school.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and you take those experiences with you in every character that you get to approach. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, if you were to be able to, where you are now, speak to, Ayla maybe 5, 10 years ago, or maybe just someone younger that might be in your shoes, uh, what advice now that you've experienced would you want to share with them?
The two things that just came to mind immediately, like just was look, well, first, you don't have to get into a BFA program. You absolutely don't. Like I said, I feel like you learn so much from life
Mhm.
itself. Like, so that was something I thought meant everything. Like, if I'm not chosen, then I can't be a part of this.
Mm.
Um, and so with not being chosen, I was really mean to myself, you know? So I think like giving, I would say, have fun, be yourself, because by me being myself, that is why I'm here. Like the more comfortable I became with myself and the more honest I was with people, um, that got me in more rooms and that got me with more relationships and developed my career further.
Okay, when you were upset though at the time,
Yeah.
how did you like snap out of that or say like, "Hey, in spite of this, I'm still making it happen."
Well, I didn't for a while, like I mean, so I auditioned for a few BFA programs. I didn't get in any. So then I went to school for biology at first. Um, and my freshman year of college was probably my freshman and sophomore year were like the most miserable years of my like life. I was like, it was like not of my life, maybe actually. I was just like working out a lot, studying, and just like I knew I wasn't doing what I loved like
Mm.
at all. And it was because like I thought I didn't belong in a space because people didn't allow me, and it
Mm.
was, I think it really was just I like dipped my toes in it a little bit further and further. Like I kept inching my way towards the goal. Like first I was doing biology and then I was like, I'll switch into the music program. And then I was like, oh, I'll move to a bigger city. Maybe I'll just be around it. I'll be like performance, like arts adjacent. And
Yeah.
then like meeting one person who was like, you could do this. And I was like, yeah.
Mm.
Thanks. Yeah, I just got like a little chills when I said that because I just told this story this morning because yeah, he was there. So I think it's really special to hear it from someone.
Yeah. So if you're listening, if you have it in your heart to feel like you should say it to someone else, then
Yeah,
don't hold it back.
don't hold it back.
Mm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just that simple thing could have been one of the more pivotal moments in your life right there.
I would absolutely say it was. And I almost wasn't going to go to this workshop. I remember I was late. It was just like it was a very random like act of fate, like right place, right time, right person.
Mm. But also to your credit too, like you still listened. Like
Yeah.
people hear those affirmations or they hear that the opportunity's there, but they don't take it. They still allow their fear or doubt to hold them back.
And that can go for so many things.
Mhm. Yeah, for
Mhm.
sure. What is so you're obviously a talented dancer and that was a part of your focus growing up and still is. What does movement mean to you? Like what is that for
Mm.
you on a daily basis or just like your life journey? How does your physical movement, whether dance, fitness, anything, pay, a tribute to your life?
I think I didn't realize it was this till more recently. Because growing up, like I remember at my dance studio, I always got like, um, I don't know the word. I can't like the best, like the most like expressive dancer. Like I was
Mm.
very like they're like look at what like make you have to make more faces and like things. And I thought it was just like cutesy. And then as I got a little bit older, I was like really feeling it. And then in the past few years, I did like a bit more acting through movement like classes, like breath work and different stuff of that nature. And now I like start most days like I go on my roof and I post it sometimes. I'm a little witchy and I'll like do dances under the moon and stuff. But like honestly, getting in my body and just putting on a song and jamming and breathing and letting out sound is something I need to do. I should do daily.
Yeah.
Because like that and like yoga, there's so much emotion and pain and grief and things stored inside of us if
Mm.
you don't get it out.
Yeah. Yeah, working through that physically is working through like what's the emotion that's inside, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's really important to me. And it um And I think by doing that in the last few years, it made me also more confident. Like, I didn't even start going to dance classes in New York City till a year ago because I was too nervous. I was very scared. I was like, I'm not a dancer like these guys.
Ah,
But I did a workshop last year, Only Gold. It was at MCC this fall, and it was like Andy Blankenbuehler, and I was
yeah,
like around some dancers, and
yeah,
I was like I was like the mover dancer, like the singer dancer in it, but still like being in that space with these people. Um, and like Carla Garcia was
mhm,
the assistants. And so I saw she does classes on Sunday at BDC. And I was like, okay, I'll try one. And like hers was one of the first classes where I was like, oh, I feel comfortable. Like I am a dancer too.
mm.
These are my peers. We are all, and also hearing from other dancers, like they're nervous. And like, once again, just the more we're honest,
Yeah,
it was very helpful. So yeah, it's become much more important to me as of late.
yeah. I think if we all can internally like check ourselves of like how much we're trying to withhold or hide or protect, if we can just say like, well, I'm human and they're human, so most likely they're having these same thoughts and they're not in invincible superhero immortal.
Right.
So maybe I could just go to this dance class and feel okay because 99% of the class might be feeling the same way.
My goodness, and it's not, and it's literal, and like I started thinking about the same thing with auditions. I'm like, and this audition is just a dance class, like just like just like take a breath. We're
Mm,
all on the same, we're just all riding the same waves.
yeah, I love that. Take a breath.
Yeah.
Okay. Ayla, thanks so much for your time today. It was a
Uh,
pleasure to get to meet you, hear a bit of your story. And yeah, thank you for your time.
Thank you. It was a great conversation.
Yeah. All right. Ayla Ciccone Burton from the cast of Six. Make sure you check out Six. It's an awesome show. I saw it on Broadway, the West End. If you want to see amazing performers make your jaw drop from their talent and some laughs along the way, Six is definitely a show I would recommend seeing. Make sure you follow Ayla on the gram. I'm going to put her handle in the description of this episode. It's Ayla CCB. But again, you can check out the description of the episode, give her a follow, and be a fan. I am after that conversation. I'm also Joe Roscoe. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you later. Bye.